What is up, Square Nation? My name is Adrian, and welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. So it's definitely been a long time since I've posted a video here. Exactly 1 year ago today, August 31st, 2019. I decided to take a step away from the game for a lot of different reasons. And it definitely was a good decision because I felt like I was getting a little too burnt out and too overwhelmed with the amount of hours I was putting into the game. It turned into a full-time job, and that's something that I didn't want it to become at all from the beginning. I always wanted it to be a hobby, something for fun, and I was taking it a little too seriously. Not that I didn't take the game seriously, but the YouTube channel, the content creation, all that stuff, I was putting it above everything else in my life, and it just wasn't good. So I decided to take a step away. But now I'm back, and there's a couple things I'd like to get out in the air. First, I want to shout out Paco Alejandro. He decided to reach out and see if I was willing to hand over the channel to him, which we did. It's something that we talked about. And I want to thank you, Alejandro, for keeping it up and running for this past year. I know it was in good hands. I know he's a really good member of the community, especially in the northern New Jersey area. So big shout out to you. Big shout out to Giovanni, one of my former teammates from Counter Club. We kept in touch a lot, even though when I was in and out of the game, mostly out of the game, we kept in touch a lot. Just keeping me updated with everything that was going on, and just letting me know how things were changing, how the game was moving into a slightly better direction. So shout out to you, Giovanni, for keeping me somewhat involved but not really involved with the game, just so I never felt like I was 100% away from the game for that long. And huge shout out to my boy Enrique, another former teammate of ours at Counter Club. We talk every day, one of my best friends, and he kept tabs on the game also. He played here and there, just kind of let me know how things were changing and how the meta was shifting and how, the complete outreach of the game was growing in exponentially from where we all started back in the day. So shout out to those people. Also, shout out to all the members in the community. Even though I was gone from the game, you guys never made it seem like, the No Counters, No Combos YouTube channel was dead. Like, it never felt like it was completely gone, which is what's making it a lot easier for me to come back. The community itself, the players in the northern New Jersey area, you guys just made it a lot easier for me to not only want to come back, but I have something still here for when I came back. So David, Hernan, Graham, Nick, Marino, Ty, Teo, Zevi, Andrew Holm, Pat Tierney, the list goes on and on. Evan, I could just ramble off names, until the cows come home, so to speak. But yeah, big shout out to the members of the community, the people who believed in No Counters, No Combos as not only a channel, but as a small community or a small fish in a big pond, so to speak. So you guys made it all the more special for me coming back, and I really appreciate that. Shout out to my wife, obviously. Greatest support system I have is my family at home, my wife, my 3 kids. I brought it to her attention that I might be considering coming back into the game, and she was, all for it. She's always been my best supporter since day one, my biggest fan. So, if it wasn't for, that support system that I have here at home, it would have definitely made it a lot more difficult to get back into the game. So I'm glad that I have not only a strong pillar at home, but, a good group of friends and a good solid group of players that, never, I guess, lost faith. But the most important thing for me was, the community. It's always been the community. Aside from the small little piece of the pie that we cut out in northern New Jersey. You know, just all the players and the consistency that we had. You know, just the community as a whole. Like it never seemed like it ever stopped growing. You know, there's so many positive moments that I can remember when I was playing the game, and just the community itself. That's always been the driving force for, you know, why we do things here at No Counters, No Combos, and it's always been the most important goal from day one, just to make sure that everything was moving into the right direction. Now, of course, there comes some negativity with anything, but for the most part, you know, as far as my experience goes, it's always been a positive thing, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons for me to come back. Is I was ready to come back. I missed creating content. I missed, you know, playing the game. I missed, you know, communicating with those people that I was, you know, seeing on a regular basis. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but you know, for the short term and probably for the long term, you know, we're back. So I just wanted to shout all you guys out and say thank you, and you know, we didn't forget. Obviously, I know that there's a lot of catching up that I have to do as far as, you know, the game and the card pool and everything like that. But you know, I'm ready to start diving back into it, playtesting, building decks, stuff like that. So as far as the future of this channel, now that we got, you know, the housekeeping out of the way, I no longer reside in New Jersey. I live now full-time in Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsylvania. So if anybody is watching this video that lives in a northeastern Pennsylvania area and you have any recommendations for a local shop to go to or a play group, please get in touch with me. I'm going to try to you know, exhaust as many resources as possible to try to build up a scene in northeastern Pennsylvania. I don't know how difficult or how simple that's going to be. I have to do a lot of research, but I'm definitely up for the challenge. And you know, if anybody, like I said, is watching that has any ideas, just let me know. But yeah, we no longer live in Jersey. We're in PA now. It was definitely a quality of life type thing, so I'll just say that. I still work in New Jersey, so I commute back and forth, but we're setting up roots here in northeastern PA, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, it's really nice up here, so we'll just get that out of the way. So for those of you who are still in the northern New Jersey area, you know, I hope that you guys continue to play. I know Computer and Gaming Universe is still doing their locals Monday nights, so if you guys, you know, have the urge to go out and play Dragon Ball, I know things are weird right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, and I hope all you guys are staying safe and healthy. But you know, as long as you follow the restrictions and you wear your mask and you do social distancing, everything has been, you know, going smoothly. So if you're looking for a consistent local, Monday nights at 7, Computer and Gaming Universe, 256 Ferry Street in Newark. Now, as far as the future of this channel, I am definitely 100% not going to be posting content every day. I know that's a lot different from what we used to do back in the day. We did a video probably, if not every day, at least 4 times a week. But I'm definitely not going to be doing that as much as I did in the past. Right now, I'm looking at a 3-day per week upload schedule. Most likely Mondays today, Wednesday, Friday. Just to give myself a nice little balance. I don't want to come right back in and overwhelm everything again and get right back to square one. And also, like I said, I'm not making a full-time job out of it. I mean, it's important to me. I like doing it, but I have other responsibilities and things that I need to take care of. So I hope you guys understand. What I will say, though, is I'm going to focus on the quality of the content. So I'm going to be, you know, really diving into the editing and making sure everything is as clean as it could possibly be with the limited technology that we have. I'm still doing everything from my phone, even though I have a slightly more decent setup than I have in the past. I'm still doing everything from my phone because we're still, you know, transitioning into you know, our lives out here in PA, and there's just a lot of other responsibilities that I have. But the goal obviously is to eventually improve the equipment, improve the lighting, improve the software, improve all that stuff. So I definitely have that, you know, as a goal for the long term. So yeah, we're gonna do 3 days a week uploads, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna still provide similar content I did in the past, you know, deck profiles, gameplay with commentary, stuff like that. But if there's anything that you guys are looking for in particular that we used to do here at No Counters, No Combos, whether it's YouTube related or podcast related, comment down below and let me know exactly what it is you guys are looking for, or if there's something that you're not getting that you want, as far as content is concerned. I know there's a lot of content creators. Shout out to Joey at Crossworld TCG, Hayden at Eggman, and Brian at Android. Those guys, I was really close with them as part of the Super Tuber organization back in the day. So obviously those guys are putting out quality content. So there's always going to be some type of avenue for you guys to explore as far as content is concerned. But if you're looking for something different that nobody else is offering, let me know. We can always work on it, and we'll try to get it out for you as good and as refined as possible. So that takes care of that. I just wanted to kind of make a video and say hi again and say yes, I'm back, and you can expect uploads from this channel consistently throughout the week. But in the beginning, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a grind because I have to find a locals. I have to, find a way to get consistent content. So we are back. I'm back here at No Counters, No Combos, and we're just gonna dive in. We're gonna get right into it. So what I'm gonna start doing, as far as content is concerned, we'll just edit that out. So without further ado, the main reason for this video is obviously for some Dragon Ball Super content. So I'm going to get into a deck profile of what I'm currently playing. I know it's probably going to be a little bit controversial, but I don't have the means or the card collection that I used to in the past. I do have some stuff that Enrique held on for me, but I'm kind of starting from square one. So the quickest thing I was able to put together was a Vegex deck. It is a budget build. I'm going to be catering more towards budget players moving forward because I'm going to be a budget player myself for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to cater to a lot of the budget friendly options that we have in the game right now because the card pool is so extensive. So let's get right into this budget Vegex deck profile that I've been testing online and played a couple of hands in real life. And I'm liking it so far, so hope you guys are into it. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any changes that you would make on a budget-friendly level, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Okay, so like we said earlier, we're starting our return back into the Dragon Ball Super card game with a budget Vegex build. I was able to get my hands on 2 of the starter decks, and I was able to pick up some of the other cards that were really affordable, surprised, to my knowledge. But so far, I mean, this is the deck that I've been playing, exclusively since I've come back to the game. I haven't participated in a local or anything like that yet, but I've tested a lot of it online against a lot of different decks, and I've tested it in person. And some of the ratios that I have might make sense, they might not, but just keep in mind this is a budget build. I think it's like a 56 card deck or 52 card deck. I'm not exactly sure the count. I did try 60 and I just didn't like it too much because of the consistency issues, but I did cut it down. It's like 54, somewhere between 52 and 56 cards. But Vegeta Zeno and Trunks Zeno on the front is pretty good. Pretty good leader, permanent. You can only play mono black battle cards. Activate main once per turn, burst 5, draw a card. And then you can awaken when your life is at 4 or less, or if you have 20 or more cards in your drop area, you can awaken, draw a card, untap an energy, and then if you have more than 6 life, you can put cards from your life into your hand until you have 6. So he puts you down to 6 if you awaken with more than 6, basically. And then on his flip side, he's Vegex, the Unsung Fusion Hero. Permanent, you can only play mono black battle cards. Permanent, sparking 20. If there's 20 cards in your drop area, if you were to deck out, you don't lose the game. You just reshuffle your drop area back into your deck. And that's any time that you would go to 0 cards in deck, whether it's when you draw, when you activate his skill, any card that forces you to draw. Anytime you would go to 0 cards in deck, as long as you have 20 in your drop area, you don't lose the game, you just reshuffle everything back. Activate main once per turn. You can draw 1 card, and then you can mill 5 from the top of your deck into your drop area. Choose one of your black unison cards, and it gains double strike for the turn. So it's a lot of text, but it's a very interesting leader. It's definitely something new since I've been gone, obviously. But I've liked it so far, and I think it's pretty good. And obviously, it's a good deck because it performs, right? So we're going to play 4 of the 1-drop Supreme Kai. This card is really good. It's a 1-drop. It has an auto. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, when you combo with this card, it gets plus 5,000 power for the battle. So it's a 10k combo if you have 5 or less cards in your hand. And then auto, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you can play this card from your drop area. So basically, if you mill it off of the burst 5 on the front side, she comes in for free. So I've said it since day one, Dragon Ball is a resource-based game. In a resource-based game, whether it's Dragon Ball or Magic, whatever the case may be, anything that you can play for less than its specified cost or for free is always going to be very good. It's always going to get a ton of value. Now, granted, this is only a 1-drop, so 1 mana or 1 energy to play this card is not that serious, but the fact that you can play it for free makes it really, really good. So we're playing 4 of those. We're playing 4 of the Time Agent Trunks. He's a 3-drop 4K unique, which means you can only control 1 copy of him at a time. He's a blocker. Auto, when this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So he helps you self-awaken if you need to. You know, if you want to turbo your awaken, or if your opponent is just stalling and you need cards, you know, to fuel your advantage, you can take a card from your life, add it to your hand. And then he has the same effect as the Supreme Kai of Time, that if he's milled from the deck to the drop area, you get to play him for free. So another really, really good card. And we continue that theme with Time Agent Vegeta. We're playing 4 of Time Agent Vegeta. He's a 4-drop 19k unique, so you can only control 1 at a time. Permanent, if this card would be removed from your battle area, it's sent to the warp instead. So anytime he would leave, whether it's if you use him as a combo card or if he's destroyed or whatever, he goes to the warp. Auto, if your leader card is black and he's milled off the top, you get to play him for free. And then he has an activate battle once per turn, which this effect is actually really, really good. Doesn't come up as much because it's 2 energy to use it, but it is really good in a pinch. So activate battle once per turn for 2 energy. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less and send it to the warp. And that's activate battle. So that could be on your turn, your opponent's turn. If there's a problematic card, if you have the 2 energy open and they shotgun into something without realizing you can get rid of it with Vegeta, it's a 3 or less. It's a pretty unique ability, but it's a utility skill, so it's really good. And the fact that you're playing stuff for free in this deck, you're always going to have energy open to do other things. And then the last card that we're playing that has that free play ability is the Gotenks Unison. Unisons are new to me. I have played Magic, so it's very similar to a Planeswalker, but when it comes to a Dragon Ball Super card game, I know that these just came out. I think they're really, really good. I think they're very strong. The fact that they can attack is pretty intense in my opinion. In Magic, your Planeswalkers can't attack for the most part, but the fact that these guys can attack and they have a printed battle power makes them a lot more versatile, and they have really insane skills. At least this guy does. Auto, when you mill him off the top of your deck, you can play him for free. Activate main, you can uptick him 2 to give him 2 markers. Choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, and he gets plus 10,000 power for the turn. So he becomes a 15k swing if you uptick him 2. If you minus 4, so if he has more than 4 markers on him, you can't go from 4 to 0. It has to be at least from 5. So Unisons can't have no markers on them. So if you're at 5 markers, you can minus 4. Activate main. This card gains 20,000 power and dual attack for the turn. So it becomes a 25k dual attack. And then in combination with your Vegex leader, you can give him double strike. So it's a really good finisher. Something you could play for free. If you draw multiples of him, you can either feed it to give it counters, to give it markers, or you can use it as energy. It's a really good card. I really like this whole archetype of, being able to play stuff for free. It reminds me of a lot of Lightsworn from Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is another value deck. Anything you can play for free is great. So, it was easy for me to pick this up. I know it's one of the top tier decks if it's built a certain way, Obviously not playing the top tier variant, but something I was able to just pick up and throw together really quickly. So for the rest of the deck, I'm playing 3 Ravager Vegetas. I actually was able to... I didn't have to pick this guy up, believe it or not. As I said earlier, my buddy Enrique held on to most of the cards that I got rid of when I stopped playing, and I ended up having like a couple of these guys in there. The reason I like him is because he's a 3-drop Overwhelm, which you don't want to overwhelm too much in this deck, obviously, because you want to make sure that you have your skills live for your sparking. But he's a 3-drop Overwhelm that when you play him using Overwhelm, you get to place the top 3 cards on top of your deck into your drop area. So he has that same mill effect that's going to continue your plays and just keep playing stuff off the top of your deck. He's also a 15k critical, so if you want to pressure for early damage, 15k crit turn 1 is a lot. You can easily get this guy out turn 1 because you're bursting 5, depending on what you have in your drop area. He's going to come out, he's going to warp 3 he's going to warp your drop to come out, but he's going to also put more in your drop, by milling the top 3 cards. So he's just got a lot of versatility, but he's also a Vegeta Xeno, which is very important as we get later into the game. And then, of course, I'm playing the Trunks Elite Descendants. This card actually is a very inexpensive card, but it's in the top tier builds as well. This guy's really good. Overwhelm 3 for 1. When this card is played using Overwhelm, you can play 1 Vegeta Xeno with an energy cost of 3 from your deck in rest mode, then shuffle your deck. So in the top tier build, or like the non-budget build, they play the Power Booster Vegeta that came out a while ago. I don't have that Power Booster card because it is kind of pricey now. Back in the day, it wasn't worth much, but now it is. But that card is really good because it gives synergy with the Splintering Mind Mass Vegeta, or the Black Mass Saiyan, which is really good. But this card is still pretty good because it gets me this guy, Vegeta Return from Darkness. Now, there's another Vegeta that you can get that came out in set 10. He is an Overwhelm card. Basically, his effect is you can warp him and another one of your black battle cards to draw a card. But I don't want to draw in this deck. I want to mill in this deck, or I want to whatever you want to call it. Put cards from deck to drop, right? So this guy, you should be playing him at 3. I only have 2. Was only able to get 2. I'm still looking for one more copy. But this guy, Vegeta Return from Darkness, he's a 19k crit, 3-drop, so you just put pressure if you're able to just get him out on the board. He survives. His auto is burst 5. When this card is played, you can burst 5 from the top of your deck. So he facilitates that whole strategy of bursting and playing cards for free. Also, he has the added bonus, I guess, if your opponent has 11 or more cards in hand, when he's played, they discard until they have 10 cards. It's not really that relevant. I don't think it's ever happened. Even when this card first came out back in set 5, set 6 with the wish set. But I like the fact that I could get him for free. He's a 19k body with crit. If I get him early enough, he might survive and can start putting pressure. And he's also going to burst me 5 to put cards in the drop for my free plays. So that's pretty much like my tiny Overwhelm package that I'm playing. I do have another Overwhelm card that I'll show you guys in a little bit, but it's more of a finisher than anything. So then we are actually playing the Vegex package. So we're playing 3 of the 6-drop and 3 of the 7-drop. So these cards are really good. I like the fact that you can play them essentially whenever you really need to. Like Vegex, the 6-drop space-time synthesis is really good because you can Union Potara him with cards from your battle area, but also from your warp. So as long as you have a Trunks and a Vegeta Xeno in your drop, in your warp, or on the field, you can pay 3 energy. As you can see it right there, he's pay 3, and you can Union Potara. So you get the 2 materials from your warp, and you place them on the board. You put him on top, and then you have him out. So his auto is when this card is played, you get 1 black battle card that's 4 or less from your warp to your hand. So you could facilitate more combo power. You can get the Kais back if you have a small hand. Make them 10k combos, whatever the case may be. You can get your super combo back. And then you can Xeno Evolve your 7-drop on top for free. So Xeno Evolve is an older mechanic from back in the day. Basically what it is instead of evolving, for a cost, you just Xeno Evolve. His cost is free. You send the 6-drop Vegex to the warp, but then the 2 materials underneath him go to the drop area. You play him for free. He's a double strike, and when he attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the warp. So he's spot removal without barrier, and he's also a 30k double strike. So he's a finisher. He's your big boss monster, technically speaking, if you really want to get, that late in the game or whatever. And he comes out for free. So you're tapping 3 energy to play the 6-drop, but then he comes out for free. So it's a pretty big, hefty play. You could put a lot of body on boards with 3 energy if that's technically late game for this deck, but I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty efficient. And they're all 5k combos, worst case scenario. Then I'm playing some support cards. We got Majin Buu, Wickedness Incarnate. This card is really interesting. It's a draw power card in a deck that doesn't essentially want to draw, but there are instances where you might need to draw. So for 1 energy, you can remove him from your drop, send him to your warp, and then at the end of your turn, you can discard a black card and draw 2 cards. So you kind of break even. You get this guy out of your hand, or you get this guy out of your drop into your warp to draw 2 new cards. But, he's a 5k combo of anything, so getting him out of your hand is not a problem. This is for, situations where you're just playing, hand destruction or stuff like that. That's just murdering your hand, and you need to, get combo power, or you just need to play the advantage game or the economy game. So it's one of those support cards that I like, and you can see it in the top, contending builds as well. I'm playing 2 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. So this guy's really good. If you need to, for any reason, self-awaken, this is an efficient strategy in doing so. But also the auto of if your opponent plays a battle card that's 15k power or less with, using a non-keyword skill, they have to discard 2 cards to do it. So anything that you're playing off on an auto or something like that, it's gonna affect your opponent. Obviously counterattacks don't count, stuff like that. Evolutions don't count. But if you're playing something off of an auto, back in the day, it was if you played something off of Shugesh with this guy out, you'd have to discard 2 cards with Shugesh. If you're playing something with what was the main card? There's a new Bulma super combo, right? So the new Bulma super combo allows you to play an Earthling from your hand. So that you would have to discard 2 cards with that, because autos are not keyword skills. But anything with a keyword skill that's either a counter or an evolution or something like that, it doesn't hit. So that's why I'm only playing 2, but he's still really good in certain situations, especially if you need to self-awaken or late pressure for low energy. He's just a 1-drop that could swing for 15k if you really need to. I would probably side 2 more. And then this guy right here. So Trunks Power Overseeing Time. So like I said, this is a budget build. I'm not sure the price of this guy, so if it's out of budget, I do apologize. But this is one of the cards that I actually had just left over from when I stopped playing initially. I like him. I've always liked him, even in other decks that I used to play. For 2 energy, you get a 20k double striker that when you play him, you get any battle card from your warp to your hand. So either a combo piece, a super combo. If you're missing something, if you're missing your Xeno Evolve to go from your 6-drop to your 7-drop, it's just a really good card if you want to get, something that we'll go over, shortly here. To pressure for game. It's a free 5k combo, worst case scenario. But this guy's a late game card. He's a finisher. He's going to put pressure on the board. And with your black super combo, it's just unbelievable the numbers that you could put up. So I like him at 2. I've seen people play him at 1. But that's when they're playing, other cards that I don't own. So I like him at 2 as a finisher or as a facilitator to get stuff back from my warp. Now this card, Bibbidi Primeval Conqueror. So this is a super combo of your deck. This is restricted to mono black energy, so you have to play mono black strategy. It's 3k printed combo power, but its auto is if all of your energy is black when you combo with this card, you get plus 1000 combo power for each card in your warp and in your drop area. So you're playing a deck that is constantly bursting, constantly, overwhelming, doing whatever it is. You're going to have a big graveyard, big drop area, big warp area. This guy is unbelievably out of control. I know there's a lot of discussion in the community right now whether it's going to get banned or not. I understand, why you can warrant a ban for this card. Is it necessary? Maybe not. There are ways to play around it, but it's very, very difficult, and it's just it's just very tough to talk about this guy. I mean, maybe we can talk about it in another video or something like that, but Bibbidi is very, very powerful, especially for mono black strategies. They have their trump card, they have their ace up the sleeve. This is the best card in the deck. I don't care what anybody says. This super combo is nuts. Back in the day, Mirror Badring Champa was a uninteractable game-ending play. You can make the argument that Bibbidi is also in that realm of overpoweredness. So we're playing 4 super combo Bibbidis for as long as we can. I'm playing 4 Furthering Destruction Champas. Now, normally this is like a 2 of or a 3 of. I play 4 because I'm playing a burst deck, so I want to see at least one of this card every game, because tapping 1 for double strike, when you want to go for game in combination with Bibbidi, it's almost guaranteed damage, and if you're unlucky and you mill them early, then it kind of hurts. So I play 4 Champas just cause I have the space, why not? And then the last card I play is 4 Power Burst, the best black negate in the game right now. There are some pretty good black negates coming out in set 11, but Power Burst is just so good. You can stop their attack and get your Kai back. If you have a low hand, you get a free 10k combo. So it's self-explanatory. This was played heavily in the skill-less format with Kid so it's one of those oldies but goodies. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know there's probably 1,000 Vegex profiles on YouTube right now, but I just kind of wanted to let you guys know and get it out there and what it is that I was going to be playing for the comeback until I get my hands on some more cards and some more strategies and start testing out different things. For right now, I'm going to be playing Vegex until I get a bigger card pool, more comfortable with playing the game again. I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff in set 11. Gohan and Icarus are really piquing my interest right now, and of course SS4 Gohan is probably something I'm going to be really, really heavily looking for. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like I said, this is a budget version of the deck. If you guys want me to test out a version that's non-budget, just to give my opinions on it, I'm willing to do that. I just don't own the card, so I'll have to test online. But I hope for right now, being our first post back, after a year hiatus, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.